A selection from The Importance of Honeycomb-Colored Glasses. This was no time for complaints. Fuck. Paul and Beth and I had just walked into my #1 favorite bar. What's wrong, baby? Beth turned to Paul. My glasses. Paul was already retracing his steps. Disabled eyes on the floor, he made his way back out of the bar. My heart sank. It was a beautiful evening. The sunshine was bright and devastating as it dwindled, slowly releasing the buildings of San Francisco from its shiny grip, making room for crisp air and cold fog. It was a perfect evening to waste in a bar. Paul's practically blind, Beth was explaining. We really need to find these glasses. She noticed my hesitation. The booze isn't going anywhere, jackass. I entertained the thought of telling them both good luck and bellying up to the bar. Instead, I followed them outside, eyes glued to the ground, hoping beyond hope to spot the spectacles and return to the task so close at hand. They're the exact same design as Capote's. Paul's really into fashion, Beth said. I looked and saw that this was true. His jeans vintage, his shirt ironed, his glasses apparently the same as Truman Capote's. Except they're honeycomb. They're the color of honeycomb. Right. I started looking for glasses the color of beer. We walked down Valencia Street. Paul was wearing prescription sunglasses, which would soon be useless. The sun was slowly sliding behind Twin Peaks. I'll wear my sunglasses too, out of solidarity, I half joked. I know a hipster bar we could go to, no one will even notice. Beth laughed. Her green eyes flitted to mine for a second, and we held the glance. Her skin was still the color of a white Russian. Her freckles still spread across her nose like chocolate sprinkles. Her front tooth still the tiniest bit crooked. I realized I still loved her. Not so much realized as remembered. Paul kept searching. Each block brought more disappointment. Soon we were back at my apartment. Don't let this ruin the trip, Beth was whispering. I won't, he replied. It'll just ruin tonight. I smiled. Good answer. You two go grab a drink. I'm gonna keep looking. I always liked Paul. Beth and I had settled into my second favorite bar in the city, a place by my apartment where they served martinis the size of swimming pools. We had dated back when we were 19, back when it was all dirty dishes, underage drinking, and overdue library books. But then she started dating Paul. Years ago. Paul and I had met a few times. We got along. Beth and I were ancient history. The happy couple wanted to see San Francisco, but didn't have much money. Of course they could stay with me. Beth put her glass to her lips, and I contemplated how many cities I would lay to waste to put her mouth on mine. I missed that mouth. Or maybe I just missed a mouth. Sometimes it's easy to forget the difference. I'm proud of you. I stopped looking at her lips. She was proud of me. Whether it was because my writing career was starting to look more like a success story and less like suicide, or just because I was behaving myself, I couldn't quite tell. And I'm proud of you, Beth. She had dropped out of school after we broke up, but was now a nurse at a renowned children's hospital. She always behaved herself. Beth smiled and sipped. I pictured the entire population of Chicago on fire while we danced above burning bodies. No girlfriend? None at the moment. I told I'm hard to get along with. Beth had left me because of my drinking. The 3 women I had loved, been in love with since Beth, had done the same. All had gone on to much better things. Weddings, careers, Paul. All my exes are successes. I could have kissed her. She wouldn't have turned away. Beth looked towards the door. Paul walked in, still wearing his prescription sunglasses. God, we don't usually drink that much. Paul and Beth were hungover. We'd spent the night swallowing vodka and chewing olives. I had been on my best behavior. Paul had cheered up, despite his glasses being gone forever. Everyone was doing a great job. At brunch, I chugged Bloody Marys while they sipped water. They say people party in New Orleans, but New Orleans thinks San Francisco has a drinking problem. I joked. Beth winced. I forked up the rest of my steak and eggs. Let's walk. To walk the streets of San Francisco is to love the city. Union Square melts into Chinatown, which slyly fades into North Beach when no one is looking. Churches and cafes, bookstores and bike shops, sunshine, fog, and bright green trees. I know why I moved here, why I put 3,000 miles between me and my family, me and my friends. It was for a woman, but really it was to get away from violence, disappointment, fear, the usual suspects. It's been over 5 years, and San Francisco is now my home. When someone from my past decides to visit me, I always take them on a long walk through the city, telling them stories from the city's history and making up half-truths for fun. I talk constantly. It is the only way I know to keep myself from breaking into a run, dragging them through the streets and screaming in their faces, "Do you see? Do you see? Can't you see?" And I'm gonna stop there.